Closeouts, bailing off your board, close calls with other surfers, and tackling confidence being out there in the waves. These are all problems that can be improved with one aspect of our surfing that most beginner to intermediate surfers avoid altogether. I recently helped Brian from Longboard Sessions on our platform longboardsessions.com to make some drastic improvements, and all by changing just one thing. This has significantly improved his surfing and his approach to the wave and lineup, and it can do the same for you today. In today's video, we'll break down in detail the lessons I've shared with Brian to drastically improve his surfing, so after watching this edit, you can do the same. If you are new here, my name's Ben Considine and I'm a professional longboarder, a surf coach, physio, and I started a platform called longboardsessions.com, all to help surfers experience the best in their surfing, and today I'm here to help you unlock your surfing potential no matter where you're at. I'm going to create a little wave here, just thinking about how I want to draw this one. I think we're going to draw it so it's like this, and we're gonna have the wave like so. We're gonna be going in this direction. So we're going right, even though I'm a goofy footer. I think it'll be better for this example. And we've actually got a closeout section that's happening here. So we can say this is a bunch of white water, and this is what we've got coming up to us. This is only maybe a 2-foot wave. Okay, so it's a smaller wave, and I'm doing this because I think it's something that a lot of us can resonate with, and this is where I want people to start focusing on if they haven't already. And then of course there's some more high-level advanced things that I do want you to be aware of as well that we'll cover soon. So it's a 2-foot wave, and for context, you know, the board is this big and we are this big, okay? So we've got this little section coming towards us. It's a manageable section. It's not too big. It's nothing too scary. And this is what we're going to learn to approach. So the first one that we're going to do, we are going to call our low angle off the top. What this means is that we don't need this massive bottom turn to draw off the bottom to then get our angle kind of 12 o'clock of the board coming towards the top of the wave and then doing a massive Rio or anything like that. All we want is to do a nice, balanced and measured hit off the lip, and we really just want to follow the board around, and I'll describe to you what I mean here. So what we've got is we've got this little hypothetical guy here. He's very happy. They're going across the wave, okay? Now, for this scenario, we spoke about we don't need that big bottom turn up to hit the lip just yet. That's going to go within our high angle off the lip. But what we want to do is we do want to make sure that we're looking at this section and that we're looking at the crest of the wave. And for this one, what we really want to be doing is we actually want to ride into and above this section here. So one of the key mistakes that we usually see for people when they're going for an off the top is, firstly, where they don't have a lot of speed and they don't have a lot of power, they go for this big off the top where they try and generate a really big bottom turn. They lose all of their speed by the time they get to the top of the wave, and therefore it just doesn't really work. The other thing that happens is people thinking that they need to go over this section here, so they might engage, even if they're going for a low angle off the top, they might come across here and then get to the top of the wave here, rather than where the wave or the crest actually is. And we would just say that this is a mistimed off the top. What will happen here is they will kind of just go off the back of the wave, which gives us a bit of a hint for what we want to do when we do our kickoffs as well. This is getting pretty messy. Just let me rub this off for a second. That's our section here. Okay. And so the line that we want to be taking for this one is we want to do a really shallow inside rail engagement just before we get to the crest of the wave. And then we want to meet the lip at the top here, okay? So we're going to ride into and over that. Now, the key things that I do want to really harp on with this one today is once we get here is we don't have to do a whole lot. Once we're here, if we position the board as I'm about to speak about, we just want to hold ourselves in position, come into a stable stance so that we're nice and low, wide stance, so that we can actually just then allow the board to react to the wave. Oftentimes we think at this point we need to do a big big whip off the top, like you'll see all the shortboarders, Gabe, John, all of that doing. Not for us, not right now. All we want to be doing once we engage here is we just want to stay low and stay stable. It will bring us back down to the bottom of the wave. But in terms of positioning for this here, the key things that we want to be doing is, firstly, if we consider the board, we need to make sure that we are in the back third of the board. The reason is we do have to make use of the tail here. What we want to be doing, even if we use, maybe I use my marker here. So if this is our board at the moment, if we have the whitewater here and we just ride straight into it, that's not an ideal scenario, because what we're going to do is we're just going to essentially plow the board through the whitewater. It's going to get caught, it's going to get stuck, it's not going to go very, very well. It'll make us wobbly and off balance, and we probably won't even make it down to the bottom again. What we instead want to do is we want to actually open up the underside of our longboard or of our surfboard to the whitewater, okay, so that the whitewater will actually connect with the underside of the whitewater. Now, if we think about what's happening to the board as we're doing our little engagement of the inside rail here, what is actually happening is we're tilting the board this way so it can go up the face of the wave. So we want to actually readjust the board so that instead of having that inside rail engaged, we now have that outside rail engaged. And if you think about the whitewater as being this here, again, we're not going to plow into it. We're going to switch onto the other rail, and we're going to allow ourselves, or the whitewater, to connect with the underside of the board. Once we've connected with the underside of the board at the correct place right there, we're going to get low and we're going to stay nice and stable, hands by either side of the board, and we're going to allow that wave to just take us back down. What will happen for sure is once you get here, if you engage the underside of the board correctly, you will just do a little float over the top and you'll come down and ride it out, okay? So we don't need any push, any kicking of the tail or anything like that at the moment. If we make sure that we're not doing too much of a big bottom turn into it, because again, we need a lot of speed or a lot of critical nature if we're gonna do that. So if we don't do that, we utilize our little inside rail engagement. We come back into the back third of the board, so the tail, so that we can actually adjust the board properly. And then we allow that underside of the board to engage with the whitewater, and then we're going to come down really nicely. If getting on top of things in this way is a little bit interesting to you, then feel free to go have a look at longboardsessions.com. It's made to create the best learning environment possible, so hopefully catch you in there. And as always, thank you so much for all the new members who have signed up for longboardsessions.com over the last week. It's been an absolute blast going through this with you on the site, and I love seeing everyone progress, and again, it means a lot to me to support my own goals of creating more content like this and helping surfers full time. So once again, I do really, really appreciate it. And if you found this video valuable, then feel free to watch this video here, where we walk through Anthea's fast one-day surf progression with focusing on only one simple correction.